What's going on, Bystial? V here, and I want to show you the updated build of branded Bistials that I have. I've been playing this deck nonstop, doing a ton of testing, and I've been remote dual streaming on Twitch TV, YGO_Paisano, ever since Monday. This new format dropped, and the deck has changed drastically. We're going to be going over the main deck, side deck, extra deck, and then we're going to be going over some options. I'm actually going to show you one of the combos that I think going second can just almost automatically win you the game. So right at the gate, for you, anyone new to the channel, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe button, comment down below. I'm gonna show the main deck, side deck, extra deck, and then we'll go over the reasonings. So right at the gate, we had 3 Albaz, 3 Fallen Albaz, 1 Albion, 1 Despian Tragedy, 1 Ablibiton, double Mercuria, triple Nibiru, 1 Blazing Cartesia, triple Saranier, double Baldrake, 1 Lubellion, and 1 Magnum. It's the monster count. For the spells, we have 3 Brand of Fusion, 3 Brand of Opening, 3 Allure of Darkness, double Super Poly, 1 Call by the Grave, 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Brand of Regained, 1 Brand of Loss, Branded in White, and Branded in Red. And then for the traps, Brand of Retribution and Branded Banishment. So this is the whole lineup. The deck count right now is currently 41 cards. And now we'll go to the extra deck. Double Lubellion, double Albion, double Mirror Jade, double Albion, double Luberian, Ringbrum, Grand Granule, Garura, Proskinion, Mirror Jade, Guardian Chimera, Queritus, Star Venom Fusion Dragon, and Predator Plant Drax Depelia. So that's the extra deck. For the side deck, we have Triple Book of Eclipse, the third Tua Poly, Dark Hole, Harvest Philister, Triple Evenly Match, Rasa Saipo and Brenda Expulsion, Down the Rest of the Prankatops, and triple Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. Alright, so we'll go over the side before, and then we'll just work our way back. So Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, I think at this point, is almost a staple in any branded build side. You really don't have the room to main this, and depending on certain matches, it doesn't matter to main this. So that's why I throw it inside. Really good against the mirror, but that's basically like the extent of it. Decent against Kashiras as well. Prankatops is a new card I added in, so I'll put it to the side. Actually, we'll talk about that in a second. The Brand Expulsion of Rasa Saipo is how you win game 2. Now, there's a couple of ways your opponent can out this, but it's very limited. They can't tribute Rasa Saipo unless it's for a god card. They can't special summon at all, by the way. And you're going to be activating this card and special summoning out on your opponent's side of the field on their draw phase. So they can't even move to attack mode and get rid of it. I think this card's a really, really, really good card. And one Albaz actually does a whole combo. Once again, I'll show you that. I'll show you that near the end of the video. But this is, if we lose game 1, we're gonna win game 2. Some of the cards they could use to get rid of this would be like Forbidden Droplet. They can tribute over it as well. I mean, no, they cannot tribute over it. But they can use Forbidden Droplet. They can play other cards that do break the board, like Dark Hole and so on and so forth. So there is outs, but it's very limited, and not a lot of people have it. A cool thing I like about Rasa Saipo as well is, for a lot of players, it's going to really, especially Kashiras, limit the amount of plays they immediately have, like turn 1. And that's why I think this card's really, really good and super undervalued. Then we're going to have 3 Evenly Match. I really want to run Lightning Storm, but the problem with Lightning Storm is it's not as good. You're playing against a mirror match. Lightning Storm is really not that good, especially if they have Brandon Opening Engrave. Evenly Match is going to help you kind of mediate that mirror match. It's going to allow your opponent to have less cards and have you and then allow you to have obviously a more of aggressive board. So that's why we have it. So I want to talk about Dark Hole because it's probably the newest card that I throw in my side deck that I gave a lot of thought to. So you can argue Dark Hole, the Super Poly, and Prankatops are one card. I think that ultimately, I only own 1 Dark Hole. I don't know why. But these might be 2 more Dark Hole. The reason why I like 2 Dark Holes is if you play against Kashiras, game 2 and 3, they're going to play Nightmare Crypto Ibli and try to lock you out. Boom, Dark Hole. The minute everyone realizes what Rasa Saipo can do, I think a lot of people are going to be playing Rasa Saipo. So Dark Hole is one of those cards also to help you out once everyone realizes, hey, I get free wins game 2. Every deck lost Artifact Scythe except this deck, pretty much. Even worse with Rasa Saipo. So it might be triple Dark Hole. Once again, I ordered 2 of them coming in the mail. I might go pick up 2 of my locals and throw them in there. And I think the Eclipse and Duster might be a little bit too much overkill. We have a lot of stuff against Kashiras. But I feel like with Kashiras, you have to immediately have the answer. Because they're going to have the problem. Their deck is now built to be super consistent. So you need to have cards like Book of Eclipse, evenly match. You're gonna need to have these cards on the ready, not including what's in the main. And then Harvest Fester is also really good. So like Duster, Evenly, that's how you play Labyrinth. I mean, once again, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Like I said, I might make the triple dark hole. I think that's a really, really good idea, but I'm still testing the deck out. By the way, like I said, guys, you want to check me out on Twitch, YGOPaisano. I talk about the deck a lot because I'm working on it constantly. So I went from the 2 Mirror Jade, double Albion, and double Lubellion. We got rid of the other card, which I have over here. It was one of my tech cards, but we got rid of Brigand. Brigand's not bad, but the issue with Brigand is during the end phase, Brigand will get you Albion. I mean, not Albion. It'll get you. I'm like half asleep. I just woke up. It'll get you Mercuria. The issue with that is, if your opponent has Nibiru, it doesn't really matter. Ideally, you're going to be sending Albion anyway to the graveyard because Albion's your setup play for your opponent's turn. So this card really is not as good. I better have a second Lubellion so you can cycle stuff in. Also, the more 2-ofs in your extra deck, the better and more consistent your deck will be when playing against Kashiras. Or even the mirror match, I would even argue. It's just as important as playing against Kashiras. Another card that I only play 1, but I might play 2 is Ringbrom. Ringbrom, it by itself breaks Kashiras. Ringbrom by itself also helps you against the mirror match. I actually might take out Dragstopelia, and the reason why, and this is something I'm just theorizing, but I gotta test more. The reason why I want to play a second Ringbrom, because you play against Kashiras, this is going to be their go-to card to get rid of, which is going to be problematic. It's going to be annoying. And I think playing this card, bringing it out against a Kashira board, is absolutely insane. It's basically going to allow you to break their board and also set up. So I might, even though Dragstopelia is decent against the mirror match, I feel like our mirror match is already really good. So I might just take out Dragstopelia and put a second Ringbrom in. I'm probably going to go to Local State and pick the second one up if they have any available. And then everything else I feel like is standard. I feel like there's nothing really too crazy. Most builds are not playing Storm Venom Fusion Dragon, but somehow are playing Suopoly. I don't understand this. If you're playing Suopoly in this deck, you're playing Storm Venom Fusion Dragon. This card's insane. It's going to allow you to do a lot of cool stuff. Alright, so that's that. Let's talk about the main deck. Once again, like I said, it's 41 cards. Before I begin actually about the main deck, I'll talk about some options I didn't run. So we didn't run Firehead Patchwork. The problem is, if you run Firehead Patchwork, you're playing way more than 41. I'm trying to get this deck down to 40, and if you run this, you're playing way more than 41 cards. And at times, these cards can clog in your deck. I mean, if you play a Fresh Patchwork, you're going to the 2/2/2 line. If you're going Patchwork some other cards, like of the Patchwork engine, you're essentially opening 3 cards plus the Patchwork engine, which can be good and can be bad depending on the other 3 cards. So this card's not bad, but I'm not crazy about this card as far as this build. We also are, Enemy Control is also a card for consideration on the side deck. Another reason why, obviously, because of Ringbrom. Another reason why is because you really want to force your opponent to make plays they don't want to make, and this is like the best card to do it for in this current meta. So I really do like this card a lot. I think this card's excellent. Once again, the only drawback is it does target, which is not as cool, but still a good card nonetheless. The third Albion. So I really want to fit room for a third Albion. Once I make the change to extract, which will be coming up soon, once again, everything's always a work in motion. The third Albion is very important because I think in the longer game state in the mirror match, this is going to help you just win the game. Alternatively, if you're playing against, once again, Kashiras, they can just get rid of one Albion. And being stuck on one Albion is rough. If they get rid of both of your Albions, that's even more rough. So I'm always thinking about a third Albion. You can argue taking out the Lubellion for Albion, but Kashiras will just take out your Lubellion, and that kind of hurts too. So it's not Gospel with a third eye. I just have this here because I don't have a copy of Dragoon. Some builds are playing Dragoon, and I'll be honest with you, I don't know any of the lines with Dragoon in this deck that will like be like a guaranteed opening play. This is your Dragoon line. I'm gonna be getting a Dragoon soon. I ordered in the mail, and I'll test it out. And if it does work, I'll incorporate it in this deck. It doesn't take much to add Dragoon in, so I will do that. But once again, we have to make sure that it works within all the lines of how the deck wants to play. The cool thing about going Dragoon is you do get protection from cards like Nibiru. It is good against going to game 2 and running into an evenly match. So like Dragoon actually does have like good things that it can do. But once again, I don't own it. I'm not testing out any of the lines. I want to try to get a good set amount of what I want this deck to do immediately, and then we'll talk about Dragoon afterwards. Branded Beast. A lot of people say, why am I not running Branded Beast? It's a win more card in a deck that doesn't really need win more cards. That's it. Branded Beast is really good for if you have Branded monsters on board, but I mean, not Bestial monsters on board, but that's basically it. I mean, I'm not crazy about this card. It's good, I guess, but once again, it's only good if you can always guarantee get those Bystial monsters on board. If you don't get Bystial monsters on board and you open this card, that sucks. And you can argue that with a lot of cards in the deck, sure, but like the deck's pretty much designed to do everything except consistently get Bystial monsters out on the deck. That's where you're just kind of like free drawing and hoping, and I'm not a big fan of that. Then we have Cross Designator. I had it on my side. I took it on my side. The reason why is if you play Cross Out, you gotta play more cards in your side, like Ash Blossom and Evenly Match, to make sure you don't get hit with Ash Blossom and Evenly Match. The card's really good against the Mirror Match, but I feel like the Mirror Match is more skill intensive, and when you get to, you know, when you're really practicing and really grinding, this card's not as good. And the Fusion Deployment, I was running 2. I don't hate Fusion Deployment whatsoever, but I'm still testing this build out without it and seeing how it works. Maybe I'll throw it back in, maybe I won't, but right now I'm just testing Fusion Deployment. So that was the optional cards. Looking into the main deck, once again, you got Banishment, Retribution. I'm trying to see if there's anything different. I'm just looking over everything. Foolish Burial is still an amazing card. Call by the Grave as well. The lower the card count you have, the better it is for you to draw Call by the Grave. The reason why also I don't run 3 Steel Polys is because you're not always going to be guaranteed playing against Branded Bestial Mirror Match, or guaranteed to be playing against Kashiras. And any other matchup, this card isn't as good. So that's why I'm only running this card at 2. If we see more, if I was to go to YCS, I would probably try to throw a third one in, knowing the fact that the majority of the meta game is going to be Branded Bestial, is going to be Kashiras, and I need this card. But we're talking, you know, I'm doing remote dual local, so I think 2 is more than enough. Triple Allure is almost a guarantee in this deck. If I see builds on Triple Allure, I just ignore the builds. I think Triple Allure is a must-have. Brenda Opening is important. This is important. Okay, so these are all kind of like the standardized, besides what I said. Let's go about the Bystials. This is important. So, Saronir is the best one to get. Easily. 100%, no doubt in my mind. You want to get Saronir. This is your boy right here. 100%. Okay, it's part of the combo. Now, I'm only playing 1 Lubellion and double Baldrake and a Magnamut. I'll be honest with you. The more I test this deck, the more I understand what I want from this deck. What I want this deck to do. And I would argue that I would get rid of 1 Baldrake and 1 Magnamut and just make them both into Lubellion, and then play 1 Baldrake. If you get Baldrake out against your opponent that's playing the Mirror Match, this card's insane in the Mirror Match. It's really good. It's good against a lot of matchups as well, but this card's good in general. With that said, if you open up Lubellion, that's another copy of Saronir, and Saronir is what we want. If you open up 2 copies of Lubellion, yes, it's not ideal, but that's the same thing as saying if you open up 2 copies of Saronir. So, once again, that's the kind of logic I have with that. I'm going to be trying to get 2 Lubellion. I only currently own 1. I'm trying to get 2, so bear with me as I get 2. Right now, we do play 2 double Baldrake and a Magnamut. I think 7 is the perfect ratio for a 41 count deck. That's why I'm trying to get it as low as possible, because I want to consistently draw these cards, because this card plus Branded Fusion is basically your opening combo. Then we have, what else is, anything else different? I think everything else is the same. Oh, once again, I'm going to emphasize, you need to play 3-4 and Albaz in any build of Branded Bystials that you play. Any build, this is a must-have. This is not a negotiable card. It's a must-have card. The reason why this card's so important, well, it's because when you're playing against Kashiras, if they banish 2 of these cards and you only play 2, the game for you is basically over. You're scooping that game. But if you have a third one, you're kind of in a better position. Actually, you can break their board, you can set your board up, and you can abuse the 1-4 and Albaz. It's so important. Also, playing against Kashiras, opening this card is pretty good. If you play against the Mirror Match and you get them to use their stuff up, this is also really good. Like, this card is probably one of the best cards in your deck, even though I'm never a big fan of playing 4 and Albaz at 3 previously. In original Branded, I think in Branded Bystials, this is a guaranteed must-have 3 of. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add the Brand Expulsion engine and show you why I think Brand Expulsion is so important. For anyone who saw this already, once again, make sure to click my video, hit the like button, comment down below, check me on Twitch TV, YGOPaisano. I play about every single day, Monday through Fridays. I even sometimes stream remote those IRL on Saturdays on Twitch TV, YGO_Paisano, and I test this deck out a lot. I'm not perfect by any means of the imagination at all. I'm not perfect. I'm constantly learning, but I do minimum go X1 every day, which is pretty good. So once again, Brand Expulsion, Roster Cypher. I'm just gonna put them over here, and we're gonna try to go over the combo. Let me get Albaz. Albaz is my favorite way of doing this combo. Obviously, if you have Branded Fusion by itself, you're good to go. But you're gonna go ahead and normal summon Albaz. Albaz effect. This is 1 card, by the way. This is 1 card to get this happening. Albaz, you're gonna go into Branded Fusion. Branded Fusion, you're gonna go ahead and go into an Albion. Effect the Albion's gonna send Fallen Albaz and Branded Disciple. I'll just put this over here for now. Fallen Albaz and Branded Disciple into the graveyard. And then Albion's effect is going to proc. You're gonna go ahead and get rid of Fallen Albaz and Albion. And once again, this is one card. Obviously, you have more cards in hand. It would change the way the game is. You're going to go into a Mirror Jade. Mirror Jade's effect is going to send another Albion. So there's your Albion. And you're going to banish your Albaz. End phase. End phase, you're going to go and use Albion's effect. I don't know why I'm looking for it. You're going to get Branded Expulsion, which is obviously in your deck. You're going to set the Branded Expulsion, and when your opponent goes during their draw phase, you're going to activate Branded Expulsion. You're going to tribute your Mirror Jade, and they're going to get the Ross Disciple in their draw phase, by the way. And you're going to special summon out Albaz. You can do him in attack mode. He's 1800 attack, so, I mean, it takes a lot for your opponent to run over this. Unless you're running like Gene Wartwolf. Then you're going to activate Albaz's effect. Albaz's effect is going to allow you to get a Branded Fusion, because remember, this is a special summon. So you're going to get Branded Fusion. So what happened? With one card, you pretty much reset your board. Your opponent has Roger Staple on their draw phase that they have to immediately answer for. And you have Branded Fusion. That's one card. One Albaz did this. This is obviously not something you should main. Because if you main this, you're not guaranteed to always go first. But let's say you lose game one. Or let's say, you know, you're playing against your opponent and you know you're going to somehow go first against your opponent in game two and you just beat them game one, then sure. But if you lose game one, I feel like this card is almost the auto win for game two. Your opponent has to have an immediate answer for Ross Disciple, and that's the kind of thing we need in this meta. This meta right now is a meta of immediate answers. If you're playing Kashiras, you're putting a board up that your opponent has to immediately answer. They can't just like kind of stall you out. It's not going to happen. Like, they're going to blow you out if they try to like play the slower game and not really answer your board immediately. Same thing with Branded Bestial, where you create a board. If your opponent doesn't answer it, I'm going to start my turn with like at least 5 cards in my hand, minimal, and I'm going to break your board and or just attack you because you're trying to play the slow game and it's not going to work. With this one card, you immediately slow your opponent down and tell them they have to deal with this. Once again, this card cannot be tributed unless it's for a god card, Ross Lifer, so on and so forth. This card cannot be even in attack mode because obviously it was just special summon out this turn in defense mode. Your opponent got a special summon at all. Well, except like I think spear mode or something. Spear mode, yeah, sure. When Dragon Ra. Once again, your opponent has to basically have a very limited amount of cards in their card pool to get rid of this card. They have to know you're running this package, which, let's be honest with you, not many builds of this deck currently is running this package, and your opponent has to somehow figure out how to stop this. If they don't, next turn you're going to go Branded Fusion, and you're going to break their board and kill them. So, this is why I think this card, these two cards is our version of Cyflock. These cards are really good, and this is only one card, by the way. Once again, you're gonna have 4 other cards in your hand. I was testing out the build, and if like you open like Saranir, you can just banish your Ross Disciple, which is also super important. And the reason why it's so important because Branded Expulsion targets. So if both of these are banished, once again, you're happy because you can just special summon them again. No big special summon that in Albaz, no big deal. It's just an idea I was just pitching around. It helps you out in your game 2s. It makes basically all your game 2s free. Once everyone realizes about this combo, I do think they're going to be citing in cards like Book of Eclipse and Dark Hole. I think that's probably another way to answer this card. They're going to have to open up this card, though. So Book of Eclipse, Dark Hole, your opponent has to answer this card. Once again, we'll say like 3 Dark Hole, 2 Book of Eclipse. Your opponent has to answer this immediately. If they don't answer this immediately with these cards, they're going to lose game 2. So game 2 is almost free in this deck. I won't say 100%, but it's pretty high up there. Your opponent has a very limited amount of cards they have to draw in order to do this. Listen, Paisanos, I'm still testing this deck out. I'm still working on the builds. I know I said deck profile, and I went over a lot in this video. But if you guys have any questions, please make sure to comment down below. I know a lot of people have a lot of questions about this deck. A lot of people are trying to figure out what's the best way to play this deck. And my goal is on stream to talk about, obviously, but on stream and in this channel to talk more about this deck. And if you want to see more videos about this deck, make sure to hit the like button, make sure to hit the subscribe button, comment down below. Do you like this deck? Are you playing this deck? Are you playing against this deck? Do you want to know what this deck does? Once again, check it out, your boy V. And also, I do giveaways on my my Twitch. These giveaways are given to me by smarttc.com. This is their deck box. I have 2 more of these to give away. So if you want this, once again, it's my smarttc.com. I love this part. Like, just not in the way, just easily. If you guys want that, make sure to check out smarttc.com. If you want to buy this deck box, use promo code Paisano10 to get 10% off. You go use promo code free ship if you want to buy 2 things or more. So check that out. Smarttc.com. It has a lot of really cool stuff. And yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think about this video. And yeah, all right, Paisanos, your boy Vini. Paisanos, have a great day.